You might be surprised, but these are 5 tax mistakes are incredibly common and you could be making them right now without even realizing it. But first, if you're new here, I'm Inna Volovik, an IRS enrolled agent and CEO of Solution 80/20. At our firm, we help business owners, investors, and everyday taxpayers keep more of their money by getting proactive and strategic about taxes. Think of us as your guide through the tax maze because trust me, IRS isn't handling out maps. All right, ready to dive in and stop losing money? Let's get started. 5 tax traps that cost Americans thousands of dollars and they don't even know it. You could be losing $1,200, $3,500, or even $9,000 just because you filed your taxes wrong. The IRS doesn't warn you. They'll just take what's theirs. The worst part, the most lose money not because of taxes themselves, but because of silly mistakes. Today, I'll break down 5 of the most common tax traps cost Americans thousands of dollars. Stick around until the end and I'll show you how the wealthy avoid these traps, even make money on the tax system. Trap number 1. Made side income, did not report it, got hit with a penalty. Simple example, you did a few DoorDash trips, rented a room on Airbnb, and made $700 on Etsy. Sounds small, right? But for the IRS, it's taxable income and they already know about it. Companies send forms 1099s to the IRS with your name on it. If you did not report it, the IRS matches records and you get a surprise letter in the mail. The penalty for underreporting income can be 20 to 75%, plus the taxes you owe and interest. You might say it was just a little side hustle, but IRS doesn't care. If it was just a side hustle or was for fun, if you got paid, you need to report it. The fix is simple. File as a self-employed and use Schedule C, and set aside around 30% of what you earn. Trap number 2, didn't file a tax return just because I didn't owe anything. Millions of Americans lose money each year by not filing a tax return. They think, I don't owe anything, so I don't need to file. But the IRS sees it differently. Even if you don't owe taxes, you could be still owed a refund and you just leave it on the table. Over $1 billion in tax refunds go unclaimed every year because people did not file. And here is the kicker. You only have 3 years to claim your refund. Miss a deadline and the money stays with the IRS forever. Trap number 3, don't keep receipts. Lose legal deductions. If you're self-employed or have a side gig, you're probably deducting something. Gas, laptop, internet, but if you cannot prove it, the IRS don't allow it. For example, if you are a delivery guy and drive about 40 to 50 miles a day, that's up to $9,000 a year in deductions using the standard mile rate. But if you don't have an app log, Excel sheet, or notes during an audit, it won't count. The IRS goes by one rule: no receipt, no deduction. Solution: you can use free tools like Google Sheets or a paid tool like MileIQ. You can scan receipts and store them in the cloud. This isn't a paranoia, it's protection. Trap number 4, forget to pay quarterly taxes and end up in penalties. If you're self-employed, rent property, invest, or trade crypto, you are required to pay taxes 4 times a year, not just in April. If you miss payments in April, June, September, and January, the IRS charge penalties, even if you pay full amount later. For most people, the fine might be small, $50 to $200, but repeat offenses or big balances can cost much more. Solution: Use IRS estimated tax calculator and set auto payments for each quarter. Trap number 5, file incorrectly, get rejected or audited. Lots of people file with errors. They forget Schedule C, skip home office deductions, or misreport investments or crypto. These mistakes not only delay refunds, they can trigger an audit, and that means letter, proof, stress. Common errors include misusing Form 1099, missing Schedule E for rental property, incorrectly reporting Robinhood, Coinbase trades, deductions with no documentation. If you are not confident, hire a CPA or IRS enrolled agent. Tax mistakes are like landing mistakes on the plane. Consequences aren't always immediate, but they hurt. Let me give you a bonus. The IRS is a business model, not just a tax agency. The IRS isn't just a government agency. It's a revenue machine built on your lack of knowledge. They don't have to teach you how to pay less. Their job is to collect as much as possible. If you don't know what you're doing, you may end up paying a lot. People fear the IRS, but the truth is the information is public. No one is just teaching you how to use it. And my final thoughts are, taxes aren't just paperwork, they are a battlefield. If you don't know the rules, you lose the money, time, and sometimes even sleep. Subscribe if you want to learn how to protect your money, how the US tax system really works for you, and how to avoid IRS traps. And like the video if you've ever made a tax mistake, and share it with someone who thinks IRS doesn't care about small guys.